Yo, welcome back to the Weco system. Today we got the Marr low taper for y'all. I call this one the Marr taper because he rocked that low taper. Still keep it kind of thick on top, but not too thick, So if I had the opportunity to cut his hair, this would be the type of taper that I give him. So shout out to Marr, man. So we're gonna start off by taking it down to a 2-guard. If you new to the channel, I don't typically like to knock the hair down too low because it gives you a flat haircut. It gives you a flat blend. You're not blending into anything. So, and with his hair texture, with his curl pattern and his waves and whatnot, I don't want to take any of the definition away from his waves. I want to keep everything how it is. I just want to add to his foundation. So I don't want to cut his waves out. And I want the taper to be able to stand out on top of the thickness of the waves. So as you can see here, I'm using the corner of my blade to make a small, like half moon, however you want to call it. Make it a curved guideline. That way it's keeping my C-cup boundary and the neckline boundary set in place. And we're gonna fade within that setup of that guideline. Alright, so now we're going no guard open, and then we're gonna go halfway and we're gonna close it and get that line out. As y'all can see, I'm using the right corner of that blade. You don't have to use the whole corner for these tapers. The blade is not designed to work in small spaces, so we just gonna use the right corner. Now we're going halfway. And lever play, like down fade and the fade, how I went from open to halfway to close, it's just making your job easier as you close the lever up. It's like knocking down the difficulty level. Open is Hall of Fame difficulty and close is rookie. By the time you get down to close, it should be transitioning smoothly for you. And depending on the hair texture, you might be able to just go open to close, but down fading going by the notches 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 or 5, 3, 1, open halfway close, however you want to call it. It allows for you to get a patient blend without having to jump to conclusions on what you want to do and end up ultimately messing up the haircut. So now I got the 1.5 guard on, open, and I just close it up. And what we're doing here is we're going to establish our blend to start connecting the hairs to the bald area that we just did no guard open. And now I got my 1 guard, and I'm going to open it, and we're going to drop down our fade again. We're going to go all the way down to close, all the way down till we get it.
This shit poppin', man.
Now I'm going 2 guard open, and we're just gonna scoop out, trying to connect this blend, this fade, into the rest of the hairs. That's all we doing. We're not trying to go all the way up to a 3 guard or nothing like that. We're just blending these hairs into the rest of the waves. Alright, now we got our 2 guard back on, and we just smoothing down this workspace just to be sure we got everything since we have blended up. And now we're gonna take our 1 guard and knock it down behind the ear and just do a little detail work, because you do want your taper to connect at the spot right around the ear. That's like super detailed, and it give the haircut so much more swag. Now we got the 0.5 guard on, and as y'all can see, I'm still working that right corner, and we just detailing the spot hidden and getting out as many streaks as we can. We're not gonna get all of them out, but we gotta strive to get as many out as we can. But if you haven't done so already, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if you want to see more content like this, and comment what you want to see next. As y'all can see, we got the same exact setup going on the other side. You know, each side ain't perfectly made symmetrical to the other side, but you know, as our job, we sell illusions and we do the best with what we got. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do the same steps we did on the other side to this side. So I'll see y'all on the hairline prep. Alright, so y'all know the front of this hairline is very curly, and when curly hair gets too thick in the front of these edge ups and on the neckline and things like that, it tends to curl back. So what we're gonna do is lay them curls down in the front. I went over it again with a 2 just to catch any hairs at the 2 level, and now I'm knocking down the very edge of the hairline with a 1 guard. That 1 guard is gonna blend into that 2, but it's gonna taper down the front hairs so that you can line them up and they won't lift back up so easily. And applying this shaving cream in a hot towel is gonna allow for the hairs to stretch on out and lay down. And then we're gonna use our holding spray to freeze those hairs in place so that they're not going nowhere. And I don't know what holding spray y'all use, but I use Tresemme Hold Level 4 hairspray. I used to use Got To Be Glue, but it's like real thick and it get caked up. I forgot, like Persona had a brand. I think I might want to double back on that jump, but it's real. When it frees up, it get real tight. But if y'all know any other underrated brand of hairspray, let me know, man. But for this back taper, we're gonna keep that line like right at at the ear level. If you can see the bottom of his ear, we're gonna kind of stay a little bit below that because we want to have a transition before we get to the bottom of the occipital bone. We don't want to have it like bald and then go into the waves. We kind of want to blend right up under the occipital bone so that people can see a transition on this taper. So as y'all can see, this no guard open guideline was wider, and we about to hit this whole little strip right under his occipital bone and make this a visible fade. So now right here, I'm going in with my 1.5 guard, I believe. It's hard to see, but I believe it's my 1.5 guard, and we clearing out the bulk in that area. So this is the little strip I was referring to that we gonna use to create a small fade before we go up any further. So I got that laid down with the 1.5 guard, and then just doing a little detail work with the no guard open, and then we're gonna come back with this 1 guard and just blend this thing right on out. And this little strip is gonna allow for us to have a visible blend, like I said previously, for the neck taper, but it's also gonna be able to show the neckline, because you don't want to fade off the back taper too high or too much to the point to where you don't have a neckline, because the neckline is a very, very underrated factor in these haircuts when you're trying to make them come all the way together. Now I'm going back over it with the 2 guard just to get any hairs that I may have missed on the first go round. And then we're gonna transition this back taper up to the 2 guard against the grain. And we're just gonna be scooping out with the heel of our blade, getting that last transition in to blend it into the waves. And then we're gonna debulk the sides of the ear. Now when you have a neckline that's very bulky, it's gonna leave the tapers looking funny. So I knocked these down around the ear with a 1 guard open, and now I'm going against the grain with the 1.5 guard to take off some more of that weight. And since his lineup does curve up in the corners, we're going to angle the line up, but we're not necessarily going to dig into that light spot. We're going to angle the line up towards the corner, and all we're going to do is just bend the line so that it gives it a better illusion, and it maximizes the hair that he already has, and not so much putting focus on the hair that's light or is missing. So we got to make sure that these vertical bars are hidden. We got to make sure these C-cuffs are complete. And going back to that neckline piece that I was talking about earlier, having that neckline popping, it makes the haircut come out a whole lot more. So you got to see it, like, once we put this piece on there, it's gonna pop. And then we got to go back in and remove some of the excess weight from around the ear to make the neck taper flow to the side taper, so that the haircut can come all the way together a little bit more. So this is the haircut with no enhancements. Actually a pretty good solid cut. Very classic. But y'all know we're gonna turn them up. Client's request, he requested some enhancements, so we're gonna darken up those corners, and we're gonna blend it out towards the C cups and the vertical bars and things like this. So first and foremost, we're gonna hit these areas to lay down the foundation with our air compressor. Give them some some darkness right there. And then we're gonna darken up the vertical bar, and we're gonna try to blend that in with the rest of the hair. We don't want to like make it super dark. We just want to give it a little tint, make it dark enough so that when we come back with our fibers, all we got to do is add the texture. And we don't want to make it super dark, like make it all clumpy and caked up. We just want it to blend in and give us give it some texture. All these fibers gonna do is add texture. The wet solution with the air compressor gave us the tint and something for the fibers to stick to, but the fibers are just for texture. And we're not going for a super black look. We just filling in and making it pop. So as y'all can see, this thing came all the way together with the enhancements. It didn't take anything away from the haircut, man. But if you made it this far in the video, please leave a like. And I would suggest you hit the subscribe button because we're going to keep dropping some heat. But now we got this razor work. All we're going to do is get all these little stubble hairs that's in the way and knock out some of the excess enhancements that may be in some spots that we don't want them to be. This razor going to pick everything up. And it's just gonna make the lineup sharper and even more crispy. And if you're a new barber, just be very careful with this this razor. But if you like what you're seeing, man, leave a like. If you want to see more content like this, hit the subscribe button and comment down below what you guys want to see on the next one.